Hey, howdy, friends. It's Steve DePoe here with the Rose Realty team with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. Hey, so last week we talked about houses that were created by 3D printing or robotics, and this week we're going to talk about barndominiums. Now, are something that I don't know, I guess kind of came up or become popular over maybe the last decade or so, but they've really kind of gained in popularity and design and functionality and stuff over about the last 5 years or so. So over the last few years, there's been this climbing home prices, right? After the pandemic, and people started looking for more spacious homes to raise their families, and they felt that the traditional way to build a house, through, let's just say, a stick house, you may want to call it, right? Was too expensive to get that space that they were looking for, and so we kind of started turning towards barndominiums. It's also quicker in terms of speed, to put them up. And so the barndominium manufacturers and designers actually started stepping up their game as well and saying, okay, so we're not just going to have like four walls and a loft, right? We're going to do, more creative designs on the inside, etc. So let's kind of get into it. Hey, before we do that though, hey, if you could go to our YouTube page, and like our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@moving-to-Dallas. That'll give you access to all of our past videos, and we'll give you access to current videos and walkthroughs on houses that we do, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, this is a great resource. It's free to you, obviously. It's something that our real estate team does. And as we start to share some more of the skill sets that we have, like real estate planning and some other things, there'll be more content on there, so that once you kind of start getting into real estate planning or barndominiums or robot built homes or whatnot, you'll be able to go back and kind of see those past videos, and we'll have future videos where we talk to a barndominium manufacturer, or we'll talk to that icon company, et cetera, et cetera. And so it'll be a great resource for you. So we appreciate you liking and subscribing to our channel, and we thank you very much. Okay, so barndominium, so a great living option. So I talked to a number of barndominium owners and spoke to a couple of barndominium manufacturers or companies, and there's the similar line of thought, right? In that it's a great option if you're looking for something that's kind of simple, more rural looking kind of lifestyle for your family. The designs are more versatile, like I said, than they used to be. They've added more variety and flexibility and comfort to them, but yet, like at the same time, they're still, I think they're lower price, and the construction process is slower, is faster than the traditional stick house. Okay, so there's something to keep in mind. Lower maintenance. Okay, so because of what the barndominiums tend to require less maintenance, because they're built of weather hardy kinds of materials, notably a steel siding and a metal roof. Now, the metal roof, the people that I've talked to about the metal roof are okay with it. Most of us, there's a number of us today who have kind of ditched their landline and just go with the cell phone. And so there are people who are concerned whether the signal through the metal roof is going to, with your cell phone, is going to be able to still work for you. People that I've talked to said that, number one, it's fine, it's not an issue. But the manufacturers also say that an easy install during the construction phase is putting in a sort of a cell phone antenna in the house that will boost your signal to the outside, and that will eliminate any issues of the of the metal roof and the metal siding that may reduce cell phone traffic. The interiors have become more flexible. When I first started seeing Barndominium designs and ads, 6, 7, 8 years ago, it was basically, if you think of a barn with 4 walls and a roof, and they would like stick a loft in there, and that would be it, right? And there wasn't a whole lot of flexibility in there. Like, that's kind of what they did. And over in this space over here was was the kitchen, and partitions over here was like the master bedroom. And but now they do have a kind of like a sprawling floor plan, and they divide stuff up and all of that. You still have sort of a tall roof, it takes a little bit of creativity, a little bit of creativity to kind of turn it into the home that you're expecting to have. But the interiors have become more flexible than they were in the past. One of the downsides is not too much storage space, because of the way things are laid out. Like I said, with the walls and stuff and whatnot. There's not a whole lot of storage space throughout the house. And depending on what your use of the house is, if it's like a retirement place by the lake or something like that, then maybe storage isn't that vital. Or maybe if it's your retirement home, if it's like this is our last home, then maybe it's time to get rid of some of that junk. I always feel we hang on to stuff way too long anyway. But nevertheless, there is a lack of storage space. And then it tends to be noisy. So we're really thinking about here, is that you're talking about metal walls, and you're talking about a metal roof. So things are going to be kind of magnified coming in from the outside. Now, one of the things I sort of failed to talk to these manufacturers and people who own them, what I failed to talk to them about was again insulation. Okay. Is your whole wall just one sheet metal, maybe some 2x4s, and that's it? Or is there some thickness to it where we can insulate those walls from not only the noise, but also obviously the weather, so the heat, and the cold, depending on where you are, et cetera, et cetera. So can you insulate that from the weather and the noise, or you kind of, that's it, you're kind of out in the elements there, and then the walls, could be an issue. But I will, in the very near future, I will have a hopefully like a one-on-one conversation with one of these manufacturers, and we'll do an interview with them. I hope that was helpful. It's something that actually, I think that when I look into it more and more, it becomes more and more interesting. And so we'll get you if you're interested, hey, drop me a line. I'll get you a list of the top barndominium manufacturers in the Metroplex. Next week, sort of a controversial topic, you may want to call it. So we're all jazzed about the values of our homes going up and up and up, but at the same time, the city or the county that you're living in is using that higher value for your house to then evaluate your property taxes, and then your property taxes are going up. So we're going to talk about that next week. This is Steve. I am with the Rose Realty team. So long.